the bear image. Yeah, if you can find one, that'd be great. So I'm just gonna drag it. Oh, if you need different layers, you should have a different layer because it can get really complicated. No, right. Yeah, it'll probably bring all the layers. I mean the objects to one layer and then group it. I think. Not quite sure, but yeah, no. So I'm just gonna lock it, and let's just look at what are the elements. So when you have like artwork like this, you have different elements that you have to kind of think. So I wrote here masking. I don't know if you can read my handwriting. So this is masking that I want you to use your texture for. I'm going to show you what I mean. And this is for transparency, the clouds. And then for the sky, we're going to use gradient. So gradient, we learned that we have to learn transparency and masking. And then the rest is pretty much just the drawing, and then having different layers. For the bear, try to draw them as a separate elements, like say the head as a separate shape, and then the body, and then the leg as a separate. So when you have to animate something, you would have to draw them separately. Also, as even as an artwork, you probably want to, in this case, you probably want to separate it because of the way the outline is, the stroke is. So you want to just draw them as a separate element, not going all the way around. It's just the head separate, the front, the arms or legs, front legs, real legs, all the different objects. And what else? We know about the flowers. Like this grass thing. You can just draw and copy paste. You can also use some free shapes and then make it unite, and then draw it. And of course, you can. Let's see. You can use a pencil tool. Let's see if possible, then try to use a pen tool more, because I'm not sure how well it works. If you have a tablet, then it probably easier, but let's see. Paintbrush its stroke is like thicker. You can and it. So the pencil tool makes it sort of like a path, like single path. Let me just show you, like a single path. Wait, this brush tool does that too. Let me see. So this one, I think, let me see. Okay. So this one, you can set the thickness, and the pencil tool, I think you can, let's see. Yeah, so the brush tool, I think you can change the thickness, or you can set whether how it ends, whether it tapers or not. But the Illustrator brush tool and pencil tool, I'm not too familiar with them because I don't really use them. Just so you know, like my background is graphic design, so I don't use this as much. This type of tools. So Photoshop has much better control over brush, but Illustrator, I'm not quite sure. If you want to, let's see, window brushes. So you could have like a different texture or thickness, but I'm not quite familiar. You see, this one has a different ending, like how it ends, and I think it's a pressure sensitive. Let's see, let me just try. Not really. Not really. You could try it. Oh, sure. It's sichoi.com. Did I tell you my background or no? No? Is anyone curious about it at all? Because I wasn't sure. Okay. Okay. Let me just do this first and then I'll tell you my story if we have some time left. Sure, I should tell you that. Anyways, so you could use a pen tool, but you know it'll be hard to use mouse, and then try to use pen tool. It'll be much harder. I don't know if you watched the video, but in the video I showed you the smoothing tool, smooth tool, I think, not smoothing, smooth. Have you seen it? Let's see. If you don't see it here, then you can just click on the three dots. And let's see. There's smooth tool. It makes your path smoother. It's convenient. You can just drag it and then put it here, I think. Let's see. Drag it and then put it there. How do I close this thing here? Click on it. Okay. So the smooth tool, what it does is you select a path. Let me just view it as an outline. I mean, this is already kind of smooth, but let's say if you want to just get rid of that little pointy thing, then you can just, it doesn't always do the way I wanted, but let's say it doesn't get rid of it. So let me just go back, zoom in a little bit. Okay. I think I could just convert it and see. Like this. Now let's say if that curve seems a little weird to you, then you can use a smooth tool. Apparently it doesn't work. So it sometimes it adds anchor, more like additional anchor points. Sometimes you get rid of it, but I think the best thing is just use the handle to fix your curve. It's just better to understand this anchor point and the handle, because let's say some of the Adobe packages like After Effects or like Premiere, they don't have all these convenient tools like Illustrator does, and sometimes you would have to work with the pen tools in other software package. Then I think it's best that you know how to use a pen tool and you have a full control of it. So use the pen tool. So where was I? So we're talking about pen tool, whether to use pencil tool or not. That, by the way, that's under paintbrush and pencil tool. Blob brush tool actually, it makes shape, I think, right? So that's probably, this is what I was talking about. This is probably more useful, at least to me. It kind of makes the, so if you make the brush thicker, I'm holding down the bracket keyboard, make it bigger and smaller. Maybe you can make some kind of shape, like the tree. Maybe you can do that. So if you do that, and I'm hitting Command Y, outline, so you could just get rid of the inner line, this one. So let's say if you need to get rid of the one of the, like you can, I think this is compound path. Let's see, object, compound path. You can release it. That's one way to do it. And then you can just delete the whatever is inside and then fill that, oops. Fill that as a tree like that. Or you can release the compound path, or you can just delete the inner line. So I go outline. When it's deselected, you can select this direct selection tool, or this one. Let me just show you with the direct selection tool. So if I select this line, right, it'll just select some of the anchor points and some of the parts that was dragged over. Now if I want to select all around it, then you should hold down Option or Alt and then drag it down. Then it will select everything. I believe that's a group selection tool like this. Okay, so you can just use this direct selection tool and then hold down Option to toggle back and forth, so like that. And then you can just delete and Command Y, and the same result. So yeah, so brush tool, maybe things like that, maybe you can use it for brush tool.